Listen to those acoustics in this room. We are live. This is StoryHive On Location Kamloops. And yeah, we're live. We are at the Stínesten Gallery in Kamloops with Shay Paul.
Hello.
I'm Todd Sullivan. This is Kelsey Bell. And this is a brand new gallery. It's Indigenous. Tell us all about the details of this. This is fantastic.
So I am the project director of the Indigenous Resurgence Project, which is an Indigenous-based arts collective that operates here in the Kamloops area and the kind of greater Kamloops territory. And this gallery is definitely a long time coming.
Yes.
As an artist myself, I'm always looking for spaces and chances to participate and opportunities. So I wanted to provide that space to have an Indigenous-focused art gallery here in Kamloops. And here we are now after, I want to say collectively, probably about 6 years of work.
Wow.
Yeah.
You know, because we streamed with you 2 years ago.
Something like that.
Yeah. It was some time
and I
ago.
remember you talking about this back then.
Yeah.
So, there's build-up, and you know, other people I'm sure were just as excited as you are about this, hey?
Absolutely. And this is, as I said, a long time coming. I've been working on this in different iterations for years, as I said. And I think this last year definitely kind of pushed us into almost like a new level or a new bracket. So before it was more low key, more special events, kind of pop up and things that were scheduled every once in a while just to engage people and bring people in and kind of get them used to like participating in things. So that's built up a bit. Our network built up a bit. And I think like earlier this year, we hit our capacity at the way that we were currently operating and the need for physical space and to really grow into like that next level that was starting to like, we were getting to push up against that wall where we needed to make those next steps. And so now here we are.
How hard was it to find a space?
It was a journey. So I wasn't even fully thinking about this at first, like a gallery. I just needed an office space for a bit. I was like, I work from home, so I have a home office. So having all these meetings with people, I'm very involved in the community, and having these meetings with other arts practitioners and other organizers from other areas in Kamloops, it was like I needed a space to host those meetings. Yeah. So I was kind of digging around to see what I could do. I was looking, for office space just to have somewhere to gather that I could go into on a more permanent basis.
Like free?
I was looking at seeing what the price range would be to rent.
Yeah.
And I was going to build that kind of like into my plan. So my first step was the Kamloops United Church, because they have donated space to me over the years for different pop-up events. So I've done at their downtown location on St. Paul before the fire. I did concerts there. I did a fashion show there, Indigenous fashion show. We had pop-up art exhibitions. We had community like potlucks with the artists. That was something that, at the very least, the price range was always accessible, but at the same time, more often than not, they were donating the space to me for free to operate, because I was a community-based organization. I say that loosely because I'm not yet an organization, but as a community member trying to support Indigenous artists, they just really liked what I was doing and they wanted to support me.
Nice.
So I'd approached them about the office space, and the administrator there was like, I have an idea, but I have to go and talk to some people first. So some time passed. We both were busy a little bit.
Like months, weeks?
Yes, a few months, a couple months. And when she did come back to me, she was like, I've talked with some of the other people in the church, and our committees and our boards, and we have the space on the North Shore that we're not utilizing. We would like to donate that space to have you be able to open a gallery.
That's amazing.
Yes.
Yeah. Because I recognize this space. I've been here before, and they used to practice chimers in here. They do chimers concerts and ring the bells and stuff.
What are chimers?
Chimers are like long metal things, and they got a little. I'm not a musician, I don't know, but they go bing bong.
Oh, that's cool.
It's harder than it looks. But yeah, I think it's wonderful that they did that for you. Oh man, I had a good question. Poof.
It'll come back.
Not a question, a statement. So currently, you're open.
Yes.
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 Is today a significant day for something?
Kind of. So we had our grand opening last weekend. So today is another sort of open house style. But it's also our neighbors next door. It's the Mount Paul Community Food Center. And also the indoor farmers market. So the indoor farmers market runs from 10 to 2. And I have worked with the farmers market through other areas of my life over the years, and food security and food sovereignty. So I know all those fellows over there. And
that's amazing for both. Your audience or your clients brings business to them, vice versa.
Exactly.
Yeah,
and
that's good.
It's just more stuff to check out. So, you go to
Without having to drive all over the place.
Exactly. And I know today was super, super rainy this morning. I know I got here, I put my sandwich board outside, and I'm still in the process of getting signs printed. So I had paper today.
I know, I saw they're a little crinkly.
Yeah, they probably look really sad.
Yeah.
But it's this is a great activity to check out indoors. So, go get your produce from the farmer's market, and then when you're done, kind of meander around to the other door that's around the side of the building, and here we are.
Cool. How was the first day of opening?
It was really good.
Yeah? Was it busy?
Yes. So, it was busy in the way that I preferred it. There was a lot of stuff going on that kind of week. I know that there was the Chamber of Commerce Business Excellence Awards, and then I know I'm involved in the Film Society, so they had their Rocky Horror Picture Show, and then which was almost
Did you dress
sold
up?
out. No, I didn't go because I was here.
Yeah.
But
only so many hours in a day, right?
And then the Secwepemc Museum and the Kamloops Museum and Archives had a joint opening also on the same day. So there was tons of stuff. October was just a very, very busy month for so many people. But this space, for those of you watching from home who haven't been in here, it's quite small. It's great as a place to start out, but...
So it's not your permanent home?
No, we're hoping to build off of this. This is a great way to test things out. This is I've been kind of referring it to an incubation lab for myself and also for other artists. To just test out, because one of the main goals that we have is to support people who don't have a lot of experience in the professional art scene or dealing with galleries. So we want to provide an opportunity that's a little less intimidating. The space is a bit smaller. They don't have to fill up as much of the wall space. And it's an opportunity for them to really kind of experiment and see what it's like to operate on a professional gallery standing without maybe the intimidation of being in that professional space.
Right.
Yeah.
So you're looking for Indigenous artists?
Yes.
You're always looking for more?
I mean,
I know you'll never say no.
There's so many that I know that I'm not familiar with. Mm-hmm. So I'm also a researcher. That is my academic background is in sociology and research.
Damn, woman.
Yes. So I did actually a research paper that was a part of my community engagement kind of outreach at the beginning of the year. Yeah. And reaching out to different artists and to see what the vibe was, basically. I'm hoping to really make this more of a professional sort of organization. I want to apply for nonprofit status and have all of that. So having all of the work and the strategic planning and the community engagement and the outreach early on really helps build that foundation moving forward. And so all of that background research, it's like it really puts into perspective what people need and what people want. And so building into that is super important. And one of the things I found out is in that kind of background digging, the population or the Indigenous population in Kamloops is majority urban Indigenous. So that means that people have traveled from other nations, other parts of the country, other provinces, whether they were born here with ties to other nations or relocated. That's the majority of the Indigenous population. It's not tied to surrounding nations. It's not tied to Kamloops, to Secwepemc.
Okay.
There is a majority of urban Indigenous folks here. And I see that you're holding the brochure that I have, and it's actually one of the panels inside shows a kind of snippet of the cultural identity.
Can I show it?
Yes, please do.
Are you talking about this? Right
yes,
here? Yeah.
yes. So
Yeah, go ahead and just describe what I'm showing.
yeah, so this this graph here is depicting the cultural identity of artists that participated in our annual group exhibitions.
I'm sorry, I'm shaky.
And it really shows that, yes, we have a large section of Secwepemc artists, but there's also, when compared to the rest of the graph, it is quite small compared to the identities of artists who are from other nations. So when you asked, am I looking for more artists? I am, because I know that they're out there, and I just know that I haven't met them yet.
So how do you find them besides... How do you find new artists besides, internet and, do you maybe travel to other towns and go to markets and stuff?
Oh, I'm hugely involved in the arts for sure. So you can catch me at all sorts of different art openings and things and celebrations and events. But also Kamloops is very word of mouth. I'm sure you guys know this, and I'm sure people watching kind of feel that.
We are the word of mouth, basically.
Exactly. So that's a number one probably question that media has been asking me about this gallery is like, oh, well, how can people support it? Like, what are you looking for? And I'm like, literally just tell people that there's an Indigenous art gallery now. Like, because that's going to be the biggest hurdle moving forward is just getting on the map.
Right. Yeah,
so the best thing that people can do for me and do for this gallery is let other people know, hey, did you hear that there's a new gallery open? And looking at the current state here in Kamloops, there's very limited gallery opportunities too. Although there's been more community level galleries popping up, like Old Federal Studios is fantastic.
Yes.
There's galleries at 645. I might be getting my numbers backwards there, but it's down on Victoria Street. And then our two major galleries, the Kamloops Arts Council and the Kamloops Art Gallery. So there's very limited space, and even then it's dependent on what their capacity is, what their intakes are, if they're even doing intakes. I know that the art gallery down at the TNRD building does internal curation, so there's not an application that people can just submit to. So
I'm not really familiar with the number of galleries that are in sort of other cities of this size. Are we is Kamloops a little bit behind in that sense, or?
I think it's not that we're behind. I think that there's more demand for what we're able to give.
Okay.
So I think
because of the space, or
yes, we've seen an influx, I believe, especially over the last few years, that there's more art happening. There's more arts events. There's more arts and culture sort of festivals.
Yeah.
There's more art in Kamloops, or at least it's now coming out to the forefront a little bit more than it used to be.
Yes.
And we don't have the structures or the systems or the supports in place to accommodate that influx right now.
Do you know of any towns or communities that you kind of like look at as like an example of, oh, I would like to have Kamloops be like this? Like Granville Island is pretty cool to me. Like it
is.
A lot
It really is. I just traveled. I went down to the Kootenays and I did some like kind of. I went to the Mural Festival down in Nilsen, but
wicked.
I stopped in Invermere, and that was really surprising. Invermere's not as big, of course, but they had a whole gallery walk. They had like 11 galleries or something.
What?
Yeah. So I did kind of an impromptu, like self-guided gallery walk tour. And that was incredibly cool. So I got to talk to a lot of those people and like managers and people who were in the galleries and being like, what is your experience? Because I'm in the process of opening a gallery.
So do you think it's best and most effective if there's galleries kind of together? Clumped together, that's a word. As opposed to kind of spread out throughout the city, you know?
I think there's an argument for both sides of that, because when you have them clumped together, they're of course easy because you can just hit all of them in a row. But in a place like Kamloops, we have different urban centers, basically. And
Zoning.
I definitely say, and I say this jokingly a lot when I'm talking to people, is like, you have your zones as a person. So like, it's like where you live, where you work, if you have any other like regular commitments, and those are your zones. Yeah. So it's like my zones are the Reserve and downtown center, and it used to be like Sahali area because I was going to TRU and I'm still going to TRU, but it's like now I never really came over to the North Shore really because it wasn't as convenient for me on the transit system. I would just stay downtown.
Right.
Now having a gallery here on the North Shore, I am participating in more of the local like North Shore business.
But the North Shore is getting cooler now.
It is, and I think
Tranquil, like Bright Eye, House of Misfit.
Yeah, and I think that is the other side to that argument is if you had all of your art stuff clumped together, it's consolidating and like concentrating all of that arts and culture into one area, and it's like other parts of the city, especially in Kamloops, would suffer because of it. Yeah. So by having more arts and culture on the North Shore, it's a different crowd, it's a different demographic. There's different people because of that zone idea that we're talking about.
Yeah, and like I'm picturing a gallery up in like Aberdeen. I could picture that being more of like a modern kind of higher end. Yeah, and demographic here.
It's also, it makes sense based on the community of the North Shore and what I'm trying to build. It also just fits as well. Yeah. So it's a very like grassroots sort of gallery and structure to it. Like we're community based, community first. When we have meetings with the artists, like they have huge input on the things that are happening in the gallery because to me, it exists, the space exists for them. Right. So I could easily take control of the whole thing and run the whole thing the way that I think it should be run, but then who's that benefiting? Because in the long term, it's not even benefiting me, because if it's not benefiting the artist, then they don't want to be a part of it.
Or encourage other artists to be a part of it, or...
Exactly. So
what are some of the steps that you'd like to see? And I mean, I know you just opened and, dreams of growth are probably not your biggest concern right now, but what would be some of the things that you would like to see expand, or how would you like to see it develop over the years?
Of course, the dream is I want my own, arts and culture center. Yeah. That's like my 10-year vision.
What would that be like? Like workshops, classes?
I've always considered it a threefold opportunity. So 1/3 of it would be gallery exhibition space like this here, where people can get that hands-on skills. 1/3 of it would be to gift shop or sales.
Sure.
To support local, authentic, handmade crafts and products. Because if one of the many hats that I wear and the many backgrounds in my academic kind of career is I'm into tourism as well. So I'm looking at it from a tourism perspective.
Yeah.
And we don't have a lot of Indigenous tourism in Kamloops. And I can count on one hand how many places you can go to get Indigenous crafts.
Wow.
And on less than a hand on how many places you can get authentic, local Indigenous crafts.
That's surprising
Yes.
and a bit shocking.
Because there's a lot of Indigenous in Kamloops.
Yes.
It's like half and half.
I think it might be in there. It might not be, but I can tell you it's the population to the Kamloops municipality is 10.4% of the city of Kamloops is Indigenous self-identifying, and which is more per capita than Kelowna or Vancouver.
Really?
Yes.
I could see that.
So
why.
it's all kinds.
Because Kamloops is awesome.
Kamloops
I
is
know.
awesome. But like you look at it's a university town too.
Yeah.
TRU has one of the biggest I think supports for Indigenous students in the interior for sure.
I didn't know that.
So like it's huge the way that they do their recruitment. TRU's a very popular option for Indigenous folks in other areas of the province because of some of the supports that they have here. And the fact that there is like a dedicated Indigenous education kind of department.
So the inaugural exhibit here is it's all just a single artist. Is that correct?
Yes.
I think she's here.
I think she's here, and I can't tell from the door.
Is Gina available to chat with us? I don't know.
Oh,
Might be.
We might be pulling her away from
Yes.
something
We
here.
don't want to interrupt.
If you're not quite ready, that's okay.
We don't want to interrupt.
It's up to you.
That's up to you.
Schmooze more. It's okay.
Where to focus the energies right now?
So this is our beautiful artist, Gina. You memorized her last name.
Bussador?
Yes.
Yes, I remembered. Oh my God, I'm so terrible with names. Welcome. Congratulations on your exhibit. How, between you guys, tell us the story of how this came to be, how you came to sort of be the first artist showcased here.
We were just meeting up for coffee. And we were just like sitting down talking, and like we were talking about working and like trying to get this gallery off the ground. And I was like, oh yeah, I have this cool idea. I think one day I'd like to try to do for an exhibition. I keep thinking of like telling you about it, but I keep forgetting. So I'm like, I'm going to tell you now before I forget. And then you're like, I really like that idea. She's like, let me think on it a little bit more, because I think you were thinking of having some potentially other things lined up and working on. So yeah, it was really cool though.
I can add to that too. I actually had the first show booked back in July, and we were going to open in September. I was working with a local artist, and he had just moved kind of to Kamloops more permanently earlier in the year. That artist, his name was Johnny Bandura. He tragically passed away at the end of July, completely unexpected. And so that was also an artist that I think his work was really important to sort of the story of what Stínesten Gallery was going to be.
Yeah.
His was quite prolific. He was always pushing the pencil when it came to people's comfort when viewing artwork. He had a lot of hurt and anger about what it was like being an Indigenous person and surviving with intergenerational trauma. And his artwork that we were going to have here was called the Eye Collection, and it was about witnessing. And it was quite a, like I said, prolific exhibition. And I was looking forward to really working with him on that. And I do plan to have that sometime in the future. It was just, it had a lot of work with the curation behind it, because he had 120 pieces, which is way more than this gallery
Yeah,
could
yeah,
fit. So we would have had to hand curate and put a lot of work into the display of that. So I do
that's so
hope,
hard.
yes,
What a
and
crazy way to start.
yes. So trying to find a way to bounce back from that
Yeah.
and find another artist. And it did really work. I had a couple options, but I think when I was thinking about how I wanted to open the gallery and the feeling that I wanted, Gina's exhibition idea felt the best. Like it fit.
Like a breath of fresh air
It
sort of
was. It was like a breath of fresh air. And on many, many different areas, I think this ended up being the perfect exhibition.
thing. Good.
And the fact that Gina is an urban Indigenous artist from another place in Canada, that her artwork doesn't maybe fit the traditional expectation that you would think of walking into a gallery, that the way that we approach this exhibition isn't maybe comparable to other galleries. Like it was all tone setting. And
Yeah.
there's, as you said, like a breath of fresh air when it comes to this.
Yeah.
And
Following
you-
tragedy. Like,
you can feel the passion and the appreciation in this exhibit and in this work. It's very grounded. It's very personable. It's relatable. And that's been the consensus that I've been talking with when people come in to see the exhibit. It's that they can relate to it. Mm-hmm. And that something in here, as they're walking around the room and following the story, that they connect to, and they feel it not just, as an attendee coming to view this, but like they feel it in their heart when they come through. And I think that's the most important thing when talking about opening this gallery and
Right.
setting the tone.
Can you maybe walk us through what the story is, as well as sort of like how this might be perceived as maybe different from what most people would expect from Indigenous art? And I think Kelsey probably
have a
is
camera?
desperate to get up and move the camera around in a circle, as she likes to do every episode.
I fidget. I can't sit still. So it's a storytelling kind of gallery, right? So we start at this photo.
Yeah, you
is that right?
start
And then
over
we-
here at like the gallery exhibition right up, and then we kind of just go counterclockwise around the room.
Right.
Yeah.
So, la la la. Returning to the land.
Yeah.
So how did this project start for you? Like, what drew you to telling this story, defining the story, curating the art this way?
Yeah, so this story is of when I went back up to Nunavut, which I had never been to before. But it was a land-based activity camp that my band was putting on. So we were spending about a week out just on the land, and we were literally dropped at the location by like a float plane.
Oh, wow.
And then we like set up our tents, and we were just kind of left to like be there for the
Oh, wow.
So it kind of tells the story about my experiences in Edahan, reconnecting to the land, and just taking the time to actually try to learn a little bit more about my own culture, hear the stories, be surrounded by people, and just have that sense of community as we all try to kind of find this connection.
Aww.
Yeah. Sony, yeah. And so that kind of goes around to about around here. And then I do talk about how like I return north quite often in different times of my life, going through different just everyday struggles. Sometimes it's good to take that break, and I always found myself going back up north. So it also kind of talks about why did I decide that I always needed to go back up north, and what was it, what drew me there. So there is another like couple photos from one of my other trips out there, also just talking about some of the cool stories.
So what is it that draws you north?
Yeah, I kind of talk about it being like there's this sense of really know how to explain it, but I've always just felt like called to go up there. And when I go up there, it feels like a connection, like being a place that feels like home, even though I've not necessarily like ever lived there. Yeah. So
But is it like historically?
it's historical, yeah. Like the conversations, the stories you learned about, like relatives and people who lived up there. And, yeah.
Is it often like an experience of trying to see what maybe, your relatives, your ancestors had maybe their experiences were like, or?
Yeah, it's that, and also like for me, like this just being like the disconnect. Like it's very remote. Being able to have that as an opportunity in Canada, like I just feel like it's really important for us to also explore the different lands here in Canada that we have, because we have so many provinces, so many territories. They're all unique, they're all different, and I really just connected with being up there and seeing how the different ways you can live up there. So, yeah.
Is it challenging to come from an environment where everything is sort of very connected and we're staring at our phones all day and everything else, and to go someplace that remote and disconnected?
For me, like, I think that's always been the draw. Like, I'm not a very big social media or a connected person on the phone. I do find that it is a struggle, being my age, that I actually feel disconnected from people in that sense.
Sure.
So for me, going up here is like, it's beautiful. I love it. And so I think I'm trying to also just bring that across a little bit as well. This is really important experiences to kind of take the time to disconnect from all the chaos.
Yeah.
Yeah.
What are some of your favorite experiences that you've had while you were up there?
I think I really enjoyed just being around the fire with everyone. It was really cool. Just at the end of the night, people would gather there, and it was just back in the day, they'd start telling stories and jokes and stay up late into the night, just connecting in that way, which was really neat. I also loved some of the stories and history that I got told. There's a piece here that is the location of where my band actually had their first connection with meeting white people, and to know that we had that history, we had that location in our stories and our oral stories is crazy to me, because a lot of the times that gets lost. So just kind of finding out different things like that, and then also learning about just the plants and the nature up there, and what you can use to eat, or stuff like that. So
did you take the trip with the intention of creating art through photography, or did you just happen to take the pictures while you were there, and the idea of sort of building a showing come after?
I would say it came after. I take my camera everywhere with me when I go to different places. So I knew I was going to be taking photos. I also was taking photos for the band as just to, for them to have documentation of some of the activities that we were starting. So it was a mix of both capturing just people candidly doing and interacting with each other, as well as just moments that I really thought were beautiful. So yeah.
What would you say is your approach to photography, and sort of what gear do you like to use for the photography nerds who might be watching?
What gear? I just upgraded to mirrorless, but this is not my mirrorless camera.
Okay.
It was a Canon 5D Mark IV, and I kind of just had a bunch of different lenses that I messed around with, but yeah.
I'm not a photographer, but I would love to play with old film, gear.
Yeah, I would too.
With the little bird. Did they used to have little birds? Way back in the day.
I think I know what you're describing. I'm not sure if there were birds there. Does anybody know? I don't know. I know that the idea of that separate flash, which is what I think you're talking about, and then they make the bird explode. And that's where the light comes from, I think.
Looney Tunes or something.
Yeah. Maybe it was because there was a cat involved in the Looney Tunes, and that's why there was a bird there. But have you used film cameras before? Is that?
No, I have never, but I think my mom used to actually, which is really cool to talk with her now and kind of hear about her developing film and stuff in a darkroom and stuff. And I don't know, I still would really love to try to learn that a little bit.
But these photos kind of give me it's almost timeless looking. They could be shot from a long time ago. I think that's my absolute favorite one. Are these for sale?
Yeah, I think I'll have a couple up for sale. I don't have enough storage to bring them all back with me, so.
So you're hoping someone will sell then?
Someone
Yeah.
wants something, yeah. Yeah.
Yeah, they're beautiful. It kind of makes it feel like you went on the hike, you know, you went on the journey yourself.
Yeah.
What's your favorite photo?
It's hard.
It's hard.
I have kind of like three, which is like the intro one, and then this one that's just behind you. This
one here, or-
yeah. Because there's like some really interesting stories that go with them, and then also just like the photo of my dad at the end. So yeah.
Oh, that's your dad?
That's my dad. Yeah.
Oh, cute.
Yeah.
Well, that's interesting too when it comes to like, photographs, is that in a way, like as much as they say that a picture is worth 1,000 words, quite often there are words or a story that isn't necessarily perceptible from the picture
Yeah.
that belongs to you
Yeah.
that maybe the individual can't see. A lot of
Yeah.
these have little write-ups next to them. Do some of these stories occur in those write-ups, or are some of the stories still sort of held within you alone?
No, I pretty much put it all on the page.
Yeah?
Yeah. So that's why it's interesting. Like you can come to this photo and it just looks like a rock, but there's a really cool story that goes with it. So I kind of like that is how this gallery came to be. Kind of, if you just look at it, you're like, oh, that just looks like some water. But yeah. So.
Do you find it hard to share some of those more, inner stories, or is it more that you're compelled to share them? Because I think that's the way artists are,
Yeah.
is that they're compelled to share these things and not hold them back.
I would say it's both. That's why we decided there would be like a write-up with each photo.
You're allowed in, but we are alive.
So yeah, for me, this is my first exhibition. It's one of like my first having artwork on display to public, besides doing like some of my short documentary films that's been shown in small towns or theaters. So this is it was a really big step for me. Especially like just writing everything out and having that with every photograph. I would say I'm compelled to bring all this to everybody and the thoughts and ideas that came with each photo. But I would also say that it is not in my nature, and it was very nerve-wracking for me.
How nervous were you?
I had amazing.
Yeah.
Shay was so supportive.
Yeah.
So yeah, she kind of just kept.
Would you do it again?
I would. Yeah, I would definitely.
Was it a bit nerve-wracking and overwhelming, like leading up to and then into the opening?
Yeah.
Can you describe a little bit of that experience?
Yeah. So.
Was there ever a moment of like, oh my God, why did I do this?
Yeah. So I also like got into a minor car accident a couple of weeks.
Oh no.
And I had a wedding like 2 weeks after the car accident, and then also this. And
Oh,
I
my
had,
Lord.
a concussion, so I had to I'm like, okay, well,
Your wedding?
That's a lot to jam into a short period of time.
Yeah.
That was bold of you to decide.
Less than a month, yeah. So I'm like, okay, I know Shay wants my write-up, so I'm like, I'm gonna have to wait because I have a concussion right now. This is my third one. I can't even concentrate.
Oh my
so
God.
I'm gonna have to wait a couple weeks before I can write this. So now the whole time leading up, I'm like, okay, at least I'll start thinking of the ideas of each one, how I want to bring the words onto paper. And so then I ended up taking the day to day and a half to sit down and write each one and go through each thing and plan out how I wanted the photos to run through. So but
I like how you made the decision to physically write it as opposed to type it.
that was a lovely Shay conversation.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
It just feels more personal and genuine or something like that.
Yeah. So I typed everything on my phone and I hand wrote it out. And then I was like, I don't know if they're going to be able to read my writing, Shay. I'm like, should we look for some other font as backup? And I showed up and she had it all printed out. She's like, nah, this is how we're going.
I think the handwriting is
Yeah.
pretty readable,
I like your writing, actually.
I thought that I don't know, we had tried a few different Livtha's handwriting fonts and stuff, and I had because I had all of her scans of her actual handwriting, and I was like, there's something so human about having her handwriting. I was like, I don't care if people are struggling with like a word here or a word there, I'm like, it's just part of the experience.
Right. Yeah.
It also, it goes well with the theme.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I think it's like, it's talking about storytelling. And
Yeah,
I think
exactly.
having this handwritten part of it is
Yeah.
a part of that process and a part of the experience of taking this exhibit in.
It's almost like pages from your journal.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And it's
It
like,
feels very
are we
organic.
supposed to read this? Oh.
There's one write-up that Gina was like going over, and she was like, oh, there's a word here that I need to fix. And I remember we were talking about it.
I was like, can you read this word? And you're like, no.
And we had talked about like maybe like Gina was like, oh, I could rewrite this statement so that it's more clear. And I was like, you know what? I think you should just cross it out and write the correction in, because I think people will like that.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's
Yeah.
humbling.
But again, it's very organic.
Yeah.
Yeah. That's another good word for it.
And
Yeah.
I've already had a couple people mention that specifically, that they're like, I really liked the touch of that in the exhibit, because it's quite literally, the quote was, and this is why I keep bringing it up, is the person who told me this first said you can really feel the humanity in the exhibition by seeing the mistake.
I feel like
because
yeah.
we all make mistakes. It's part of being human, and the fact that that's reflected in the exhibition just made it more. It just made the experience more impactful.
Yeah. I feel like there could almost be a fine line between it feeling a little too casual and maybe unprofessional, but this is not that at all. It's very professional, like seeming and yeah, personal for sure. Yeah.
So with this being sort of the first exhibition and this being your first exhibition, did either of you hit any unexpected hurdles that you've learned from for maybe next time or anything like that?
The tape on the wall.
Let's hear about the tape on the wall.
Yes.
We realized that because they're on metal prints, right? So it's quite heavy, and we needed to have it sit upright against the wall. So tape, we needed tape. We used some duct tape at first.
Shay, you should know better than that.
Well, I mean, since I'm also in charge of the space, that means I'm also in charge of repainting it. So we did the duct tape, and then when we had our opening, we had the opening like remarks in this one room. And with all of the bodies in here, when that happened, it was still quite intimate. Like the first night, it was about 20 people. The second night, it was maybe about 17 during the opening remarks, and then we had people filter through and like kind of shuffle throughout the rest of the opening, so it wasn't all bunched up in here. But it rose the temperature in here like 10 degrees. So, and then it was quite cold in here when it wasn't full of bodies. So we had the temperature fluctuation just decimate the adhesive on the paint
I see what you're
or on
getting,
the tape. So we had to like put it back on, and there's like layers of like duct tape and masking tape that are like stacked on top of each other behind these.
Were there things falling off and going clang?
Yup.
Like, oh, but really?
Moving forward and like, yeah. Yeah.
Yeah, it's nice how it's like a hanging wire.
Yeah, so we have
that's effective.
we have gallery track up here on the walls, and it's pushed up right up to the ceiling line. So and they're white along with the walls. So when there's nothing hanging there, they're quite invisible. And it's the easiest, because that way we're not driving nails into the walls and having to repair them.
Yeah, over and over again.
Yeah, so it's quite friendly.
So are you allowed to paint the space and make it kind of, you are?
Yeah, so according to our current agreement, yes, I am allowed to. I want to make less work for myself.
Totally, yeah.
But white's perfect.
Yes,
Yeah.
yes it is.
It doesn't take away from
No.
the art.
Pretty standard. And
Yeah.
once again, when we're talking about building experience with artists, like they would probably see these, because I could find empty white walls, to be quite intimidating as a new artist.
Sure, yeah.
But it's it's not as big of a space,
Yeah.
and it's kind of starting to tackle some of those hurdles of that intimidation when approaching galleries if they're faced with an empty blank white wall as a canvas, because that's always the biggest thing, is like, where do you start?
Yeah.
You mentioned that you've done documentary films.
Yeah, I'm just starting
Yeah.
to kind of break
Cool.
into that. Yeah.
Is that what are you more drawn towards between sort of filmmaking and photography, or is it sort of an equal draw with a different enjoyment from each thing, or how does that work?
Yeah, I think like with both, I just really love the storytelling aspect. So I've been doing photography for about 5 years now as like my business, but I just started to branch into film, and like I'm so excited. It feels like there's like a whole new door opening of different things that I can start to move towards. So yeah, I'm excited for both. I still love doing like photography, but I'm also excited to explore and start to do short documentary films. Mostly I really love doing documentary work because I like to focus on what stories people want to tell. Even if like, say it's like a business they're passionate about, or like a nonprofit or something like that, I love to just kind of share and start to bring some of their thoughts and stuff to the world. So
Yeah,
that's
I
my
can
goal.
see why you guys are friends. Like you're both align quite nicely. Same morals and goals and stuff like that.
Yeah.
And so do you have like plans for a new documentary, what you're going to pursue photographically next? Where's your head at now when you're done with the gallery exhibit?
So I want to do like some short documentary work here. I definitely am planning to go back up north to like in like to Dooley. That is my next goal, because I am going back to my band. I'd like to be able to start to document some of our elders and their stories and some of our language stuff, and start to bring it all together along sort of the similar line of reconnecting to the land and that sort of thing. So that is my goal, to try to get back up there. And yeah.
Your photos do look like stills from a documentary. Yeah. That's totally the vibe. Doesn't it look like it?
I think so.
It just looks like she already shot a documentary.
You just got to make a move now.
Yeah.
Or did you shoot a documentary while you're up there too? Or just photo taking?
Just photos. I did there's a couple like short video stuff that I put all together, but just.
Oh, this is yours?
Yeah. That's mine.
Oh, I guess we should.
Well, let's show that.
Yeah.
There's a couple. I don't know if I can get to the beginning of it or not here.
Oh, you want to start from the very beginning?
Yeah, you can just show it wherever. That's fine.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Is this you flying in or out, or?
Yeah, this is the end of it here, so this is like heading back.
Huh.
Yeah. Yeah.
So how long were you there for again?
For this trip, I was there for just over a week.
Over a week?
Yeah. I was 2 weeks up north, but out on Nunavut, it would have been about a week, Yeah.
So vibrant up there, like the sky, like bluer than what I'm used to here.
Yeah.
Oh,
Yeah.
Is that just a...
This is like I did a cinematography project that was supposed to be like 8 slides. That was just supposed to tell a story. So I ended up using some of my work from up there too. Yeah. Yeah.
Do you like to edit? Is that like fun for you, or do you prefer to shoot, or what's...
Yeah.
Is
so,
the whole thing fun?
Yeah, for me, I love both. So I've got experience doing editing for short documentary. But yes, I love bringing it all together and like putting all the slides together. But I really love being out there taking the photos as well.
What do you like to edit in?
I'm using Adobe. Adobe Light. Yeah, Lightroom for the photography, but yeah, Premiere Pro.
Okay,
Yeah.
gotcha. I'm a Da Vinci guy.
Yes, yeah, I've heard that that's also good.
It's free, which is
which is nice.
Yeah, Gina, if
I
you
know.
ever have questions about editing,
Well, I don't know how. Yeah.
Yeah.
that's pretty good. He's an award-winning filmmaker.
Wow.
Yeah.
That's so cool.
Have you joined any film festivals yourself? Have you entered any?
I just entered my little 1-minute cinematography project this year for the Indigenous Film Festival here, but I am entering my short film for next year in March here.
In the Short Festival?
Mm-hmm, yeah.
Awesome.
Yeah.
That's such a fun festival.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm excited.
Any other?
Or 11 minutes.
Okay. Any other mediums that you dabble in, or is it exclusively sort of like photography and film, or like anything that you want to try that you haven't tried yet?
Yeah, it's exclusively probably photography and film. That's like my favorite. I would be open to doing like another exhibition or something like that in the future.
Sure.
Like this one kind of just came together. I don't have any like plans or thoughts for that right now, but I'm sure there'll be something in the future that comes along.
The next time you do this, would you do anything differently?
I don't know. The writing might not be handwritten, depending on the feel we're going for.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It would obviously tell a
But
different
I really-
story.
Yeah, it'd be a different story, so it could look very different.
Yeah,
But
yeah.
I really did love the handwriting of this. So, yeah.
Yeah, no, it's a good touch, for sure. Oh, you need to have like names for it. Soft ripples.
Yeah.
Sounds like chips.
Chips in the rain.
I'm hungry.
now. Yeah.
When you leave chips in the rain, you get soft ripples. So
I'm sorry, I know what I'm...
I know. If someone can't make it to the gallery, is there some place they can go to get an example or samples of your work? Do you have a website, Instagram, anything like that?
Yeah, I have a website, ginabusterphotography.com. I also have Instagram and Facebook, same thing, just under Gina Buster Photography. And I also believe Shay is thinking of putting some of the pieces online on her site.
Okay.
With some of the write-ups, as well as talks and conversations about that. So hopefully we'll get that kind of up and going as well.
And you said that you do photography as your business?
Yeah.
So what is that? What sort of photography do you do professionally?
So I've done lots of like weddings and family photos and events. Lots of
Those are all sort of storytelling gigs
Yeah,
too,
yeah.
not like actors' headshots. You do more
Yeah,
like
Yeah.
family-oriented things,
Yeah.
like that.
And I have done some like personal branding photos for small businesses because again, I love like being able to share and get the word out about like what they're offering and that sort of stuff. But that's kind of what I've done for photography mostly. But yeah, I'm going in that direction of trying to go more into these short films and microfilms.
And it kind of runs in the family. You said mom dabbled in photography, or
Yeah. I never really got to like see her doing that, so that was like kind of before I was around. But it's cool to talk about it with her now and like learn
Nice.
stuff like that. Yeah.
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 And is she excited to see you get into it?
Yeah. She's my number one fan.
Oh, perfect.
Yeah.
She should be.
Yeah.
Does she ever come to you with like tips? Is she ever like, I would have used a different aperture or something on this picture?
Yeah. No, she
No.
doesn't do that. Yeah.
Did she ever have her work in galleries?
I don't think so.
She was more casual about it?
Yeah, it was more so just like a personal love, like a hobby for her. Yeah. Yeah.
I am out of words.
Yeah. Is there anything that we haven't asked about that I'm waiting for Shay to come back, kind of, to sort of wrap things up with her. Is there anything that we haven't touched on yet that you want to tell us about, or inform the people at home about, or talk about your favorite movie, or?
We really covered it all.
Halloween last night.
Very low key, yes.
Nice.
I read with my my husband now. Yes. Yeah, used to saying that.
Congratulations.
Yeah. We just kind of like read a book and chilled.
Did you read something spooky for Halloween?
Just Harry Potter. Yeah.
That's not that spooky.
Yeah, no, it's not spooky.
You guys are cute.
Yeah. Yeah.
Does your husband? What does he do? Like, is he involved with is he kind of like a big supporter, or does he inspire you to?
Well, he might also be like in the running for number one fan.
Oh, there you go.
He's always here. He's always helping me. He came with me as like we set up everything. He's always like, I'm sure you've seen those posts about like, I'm an independent business owner, and then they have like their husband like always there helping. And
Right,
things.
yeah.
Yeah, that he is definitely that for me.
That's cute.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And how long is the showing going to be up here at the gallery until?
Great question.
Yes, it's going into December. Yeah. So I'll have to also get the exact date from Shay. But yeah,
Okay.
we have our little gallery post-its and stuff, so that you can kind of have the dates and lots.
So
of
it will be
online.
like through all of November and into some of December.
Yeah, mid-December.
And do you
It's the
happen to
19th.
know what the operating hours are here if people wanted to drop by and check it out?
Yes.
Does Kelsey maybe have that on the brochure?
Yeah.
Oh, no. Oh, yes. Ready? Hours. Thursday, 2 to 6. Friday.
2 p.m. to 6 p.m.
Well, not a.m. Why would you? That's insane.
Just don't make assumptions, Kelsey.
2 p.m. to 6 p.m. Thursday, 2 p.m. to 6 p.m. Friday, and then Saturday, 10 a.m. till 2 p.m. Because Saturdays they have the farmers
Yes.
market here.
Yeah.
Just
It is worth noting that hours is subject to change and fluctuation based on workshops.
I never read the fine printing. Thank you for
It's
reading
not
that.
even that fine, Kelsey.
It's finer than the font above.
It is.
I don't know, but the gallery isn't just this room. I'm gonna mosey over to the hall.
Oh, to all the people. Don't point in there for too long because we don't have releases for any of those people.
I'm not gonna show any people.
Okay.
No people.
What's been the most fun part of this process so far?
I think going back and just like revisiting all the memories.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, it was only like last year that I went up to Edahan, but some of the other photos from other trips as well. So,
Okay.
Yeah.
So there's this like a selection of photos. This isn't like every picture you took, obviously.
No, yeah.
Yeah.
I had to go through and have a specific sit down to select
Yeah.
the ones that I wanted. Yeah.
Is there a process that you go through for like picking them? Is it a matter of just as you scroll through them, you know, the ones that like grab you emotionally with a memory or something that makes you stop and go, okay, maybe this one? And is it a matter of filtering? Is it a matter of like taking the first wave and like filtering it down to like 100 and then filtering that down to 50 and then filtering that down to, you know, whatever the number here is?
Yeah, I think I probably started more so like with 30 that I was like looking at, but it definitely went through and I was picking the ones that like, had that emotional feelings or emotions that were brought back up when I was going through the photos and being like, there's a story with this one, I remember like this happened with this, and
Yeah, you really get like your point of view, your perspective. It's like
Yeah.
we lived as you in this moment when
Yeah.
we're looking at your photos.
Yeah.
That was a little deep.
Totally.
Totally deep. Yeah. We have 3 minutes.
3 minutes.
Yeah, I don't know if Shay wants to talk and say goodbye or.
It'll depend on whether she comes back, mostly.
I don't know what to do.
We'll very slowly say thank you
Yes.
so much
You
for
are
joining us
very
for
Oh, not slow motion?
not quite that slow, no. Thank you for hanging out with us for a little bit here and telling us about your artwork, about your experiences, about your travel, hopes and dreams, and all that good stuff.
Yeah.
What kind of meat is that? That's really yummy looking. Is it elk?
No, it is caribou.
Caribou,
Yes,
okay.
Yes. Yeah.
Yum. So what does it taste like? I've never had it.
It's very unique. it's
Like salty?
Yeah, because like this they're specifically making in this photo is like a dried meat that they used to make for like storing.
Oh, nice, nice. I love dried meat.
Yeah. Yeah.
I always when people talk about eating, things like caribou or elk or moose or whatever else, they always talk about it being gamey, and I really don't know what that word means.
Yeah.
Like I don't know what gamey tastes like, and maybe it's just that I haven't eaten enough.
You talked about that where you
It
don't
is
know a
not-
word, but you just pretend to know the
Yeah.
word until.
Well, I know what it means. I mean, it tastes different.
Oh.
But
can
I
say
don't-
It's not gamey, but I
That's
don't know how
not
to,
gamey?
No, it's not. But I don't
Okay,
know
but
how
you
to
can't describe
I can't
gamey.
describe the taste. No.
Yeah.
Yeah, I can say it's not gamey,
It's
but
just one of those things that, like, I think maybe
Stringy.
is that what you think it
I
means?
think so.
Okay. But we shouldn't take your word for it.
Don't ever take my word for it.
So yeah, that's something. If you know what gamey means or what gamey tastes like, shoot us an email, and or maybe we'll do a stream with you, and you can tell everybody all about gaminess and what.
What?
Anyway,
Mood.
yeah,
Yeah.
it's sometimes the last 5 minutes get weird as we wait out the timer a little
Some
bit.
of us partied yesterday.
Yeah, some of us just stayed home and worked.
But I'm happy to know that you're a filmmaker. We sometimes dabble in that too.
Cool.
So if you ever, yeah,
Yeah.
networking's great.
Yeah.
Blah, blah, blah.
Yeah.
I'm sorry.
And we're good at it too. We don't always just talk about gaminess and things like that. So
He was like, wow, this is the most awkward interview ever. When will they stop talking?
yeah, appreciate that you haven't just run away and left us
I'm gonna
to
let
finish
Shay
things
know
off.
that we're almost done.
Okay.
If she wants to say anything.
Good plan. Yeah. Anyone you want to say hello to, or say thank you to in regards to the gallery, or mom and dad, say hi to them, anything like that?
Hi, mom and dad. Yeah, I would say my biggest thank you is to Shay for this gallery and for working with me to put this all together. Yeah, it wouldn't have happened without her, and yeah, it's been an amazing experience. So I'm very thankful.
And now it's your turn for
Yes.
some final thoughts, some final words.
Yes. I'm so thankful to, everyone involved in this. Gina for literally agreeing to do this. I know I put you through the ringer as this is your debut show. And I'm like, it's also the grand inaugural opening, and we're having
No big deal.
so much, there's so much media attention on it. And I'm gonna pull you in on an interview. No pressure though. If you want to say no, you can say no. If you don't, we're doing an interview right now. So I really appreciate how receptive you've been of this, and the fact that you're just okay, I'm just gonna do it. Let's do it. And once again, the work that you've done is so touching, and I cannot say this enough, and I don't even think I have the words for it, but to me, it's perfect. As I mentioned, it's the feeling of the exhibition, it's the thought behind the work, it's everything about who you are as an artist and the journey that you've made and the decisions that we've made to put this together. It just fits the goals of what we want the space to be, which is accepting and open and a safe place to try new things and to be experimental and to make mistakes and to learn from them. And so I appreciate you. I appreciate all of the support that I have, the other artists who are chatting away in the next room.
Do you want to mention the people behind the scenes that have helped you, or?
Oh my God, the list is so long. And of course, because on the spot, I can't think of a single
Of course,
person.
yeah, exactly.
But it's my family has been there. If it wasn't for their support, I don't think I would have been able to commit to doing something on this level, because this doesn't pay. In fact, I'm paying to open the gallery.
Right. Yeah.
There's a cost factor associated with that, and I'm grateful that I have a family that supports me, that I can actually do something as reckless as a new endeavor like this. My friends, my colleagues, the other arts practitioners in Kamloops that are being as supportive and as excited that there's an Indigenous art gallery. I've gotten so much feedback and mentorship and support from the other arts practitioners, and just being let me know how you can help, or here's how we did things, or here's our policy so that you can build your policy off of that. It's resource sharing.
Yeah.
It's, people like you who are taking the time out of your day to help spread the word. It takes a village. It really does. And I think like the number one question that people ask is like, oh, well, how can we support the gallery? Like what is it that you need? And at this point, let people know, let your friends and family know that there is a new Indigenous art gallery and that it's here and you can come in and check it out, because Kamloops being word of mouth, it's like that's what we need for people to figure out and to hear about this and to put it on the map, essentially, is that we need to be talking about it.
And speaking of the map, where are we located so people can find it?
This is located at 140 Laburnum Street on the North Shore. It is the side entrance to the building. We are in the process of fixing up the door and touching it up, making it look a little nicer. Very early on in the process, we're still getting signs and stuff made. But yeah, it's so you turn off Tranquille, you turn up Wood Street on Cherry Avenue, and then Laburnum Street is right there.
Are you still looking for donations? I mean, you got these lovely chairs.
I would probably float away from that right now, because I feel like, yeah, we're limited on space, but I also feel like we would get overwhelmed with people being like, ooh, do you need this? Do you need that? Because I already kind of got a little bit of that when I first put it out there, because there was some what I was calling creature comforts that I was hoping to get, like a Keurig, and like I needed a microwave and all of this. So I had put a little wish list online on my Facebook page, and the response was overwhelming. So I have everything for the creature comforts. Thank you all. No need to volunteer anything else.
For now, just focus on spreading the word.
Yes. For now, please just focus on spreading the word and letting people know.
I have noticed, because I have been here before this was this. Mm-hmm. You did something to the bathroom, so you made it more like artist friendly, so you could wash your hands and like a steel. I don't know.
So let's not say what it is, because maybe I don't know.
Yeah.
Maybe let people.
Okay.
If you want to find out what's
just
cool in the bathroom,
more creature comforts.
There we go. Apparently, the bathroom's cool. I haven't been there, so
it's about making the space feel lived in. Because we can keep it sterile and we can keep it, these white walls are in the bathroom, they're gray. We can keep them like that, or we can zazz them up.
But that's not the tone that you wanted,
That's not the tone. So the tone follows through the whole space, including the bathroom.
Yes.
Okay, well, thank you both for joining us today. It's been a pleasure chatting with you and checking the gallery out. Before we go, just a reminder that if you want to stream with us, there should be a little QR code on the screen there. Just sort of point your camera at that, do the thing, not that.
I know, I'm just showing.
But and it'll take you to a little questionnaire. You fill it out, and we'll be in touch if you want to stream with us. Until then,
That's a new thing we've been saying. That's a new thing we have to say now.
we have to say it, or we get fired. Probably not. Once again, this has been On Location Kamloops. We've been at the Stínesten Gallery. I would have messed it up. I'm Todd Sullivan. That's Kelsey Bell behind the